Hi, thanks for joining us today. Today I have Heather Versillo with me. Thank you, Heather, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Mike.
And we're going to talk today about the TestOil framework that we have developed to really help start a successful program. And I've been honored for the last probably the last month, Heather has presented on this topic at a couple different trade shows. And, it's an hour-long presentation, and we're not going to do that today. I'm hoping Heather can drill that down to about 2 minutes of, what makes a successful framework for starting a program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And it is an hour-long presentation, truly. So I'm going to try to pare that down to just kind of the most important points over the next couple of minutes. But really, this framework is meant to help with managing a successful lubrication or oil analysis program. And there's 6 points to it that you really need to think about when you're looking at starting a program or even improving a program. And the first and most important thing is who's going to be running this program. We really need a champion and someone that is going to be kind of the cheerleader for this program to really push and drive things forward. So then you have to figure out the why. And sometimes with the why, it's really going to reflect on some of the company's goals. And there's a variety of types of goals that they might have.
That's a good point, Heather. One of the goals may be to reduce your carbon footprint.
Exactly, and you have to figure out how to link that to the value of an oil analysis program. After you figure out the who and the why, you want to start looking at what assets are going to be included in this program, and that's tends to take up probably the biggest chunk of time. A lot of our customers, they will just start with purely the criticality of the equipment. They pick the high critical equipment to start with, and they'll expand the program over time as they get more comfortable with what they're doing. So
I think that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
We get people started on a program, and then they kind of fumble the ball because they don't know which machines to go get samples from. Mm-hmm. So I think the criticality is a good starting spot.
Yeah, it really is. People seem to have the most success with starting there too. And after you figure out what assets are going to be included, then you have to start to think about when are you going to start a program or when are you going to implement these changes to improve your program. Part of that is going to be making sure that you have that who or the champion in place, that you know what your goals are, and that you have justification for making these changes or starting this program. Justification, you often want to try to link back to the company's bottom line. And there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do that. And if you ever need help with that, Mike's a fantastic person to help you with that. But that's what you want to look at when you're trying to figure out when to start the program, right? And then finally, we have to figure out how is the program actually performing. So one of the previous videos we did, Mike talked a lot about KPIs, and you need to find a metric that's going to work for you and is going to help ensure that you're meeting your goals. And for some companies that are just starting out, they might just simply need to get oil into bottles, and that's all that they're looking at. So they're going to be using a schedule compliance report. Other companies are looking at a much higher level, and they want to see where they're performing compared to other companies within their industry. So they might use something like a benchmark report to kind of understand the letter grade of where they fall among their peers. But it really comes down to what is the company's goals, what are you trying to achieve? And so when you're looking at it, it's 5 W's, 1 H. It's your who, what, where, when, how, and why. And I guess that's kind of my hour presentation in a nutshell right there.
That was great. Where can our audience find more information?
So you know what? I think we have a couple of different books on oil analysis, but then we also have a book called Critical Pieces to the Puzzle, and it kind of outlines some of the 6 major components of any oil analysis program.
Well, great, Heather. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Mike.
You're welcome.